Dueling hat tricks tonight. The Minnesota Wild, two players that were on hat trick watch this evening as Marcus Foligno completes the hat trick with help from Vladimir Tarasenko, who scored twice, and sprinkle in another Ryan Hartman goal, and the Minnesota Wild handle the Maple Leafs by a score of 6-3. And this got out of hand early. And the Wild just another solid win on the road. A team that had won 7 straight home games in the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is the depth scoring that we were talking about. And the Wilds do a really good job of beating I know the record is not what it has been previously. That's still a good Toronto team. And solid win for the Wild here tonight, as they get contributions up and down the lineup, and they get back to pushing on offense. We got a lot more coming up, plus a special guest. That's all on the way. Let's postcast it.
You are Locked On Wild Postcast, part of Locked On Minnesota on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Minnesota Wild beats the Toronto Maple Leafs by a score of 6-3, and they only needed 3 goal scorers to do it, as they get a hat trick from Marcus Foligno, his first of his career, and 2 goals from Marcus Foligno, and another goal from Ryan Hartman. When you've got Matt Boldy, amongst others, out of the lineup, if the goals are not going to come from Kirill Kaprizov and Quinn Hughes, if you get the other guys to step up and do it, that's the recipe. That's the formula. That's what we've been looking for, and that's why that was what was the big thing about the stretch that we saw at home. It just there was not a good amount of solid supporting help. And the Wild got that the last 2 games, but I think they have gone back to the push mentality on offense. They have done a really good job of pushing the tempo, really taking the attack to the last couple of teams that they've played. I mean, looking at the numbers tonight, the Wild had a 4.6 expected goals for the night against 2 different goalies. They played They played the starter tonight, Joseph Woll, and then Dennis Hildeby came in for a spell in the third. They generated 4.6 expected goals against those 2, and Joseph Woll had been playing solid for the last few games. But if you look at where the shots came from, the Wild generated, listen to this, the Wild generated a total of 54 unblocked shot attempts. They had 11 medium danger and 7 high danger. So they took the attack to the net. They pushed to the net. And for teams that are struggling, scuffling offensively, that's what you got to do. You kind of got to get back to basics. And I thought the Wild did a really good job of that, not only in this game, but also against Buffalo. Just did a good job of, when you're not getting scoring from outside, crash. What's the Dave Matthews Band song? Crash. Just crash into me. And by me, I mean the netminder. So the Wild did a really good job of that tonight. As far as the other side goes, tip your cap to Austin Matthews. I know Filip Gustavsson gave up the breakaway goal in the third period, but look, game was well in hand by that point. I mean, you had one goal that was pretty iffy as far as goaltender interference goes. It was iffy. I think if it was a closer game, you probably would have seen the Minnesota Wild challenge that. But the fact that they were up 5-1, you give up the goal and you just say, we're not gonna potentially give Toronto a power play here, so we'll just concede. We'll just concede it. And then Matthews with the breakaway. Like, other than those, I think I think the Wild defensively did a really good job of keeping things at bay for this Toronto team. I mean, 42 unblocked shot attempts, 30 low danger, 9 medium danger, and 3 high danger. Toronto gets credit for 2 medium danger and a high danger, but, again, context of when they happened. The goals occurred after the Wild already had a 5-1 lead. Whoop-de-doo. Garbage time goals. Congrats. As far as the other statistics go, just looking at, what we got from the Wild here tonight. I mean, as you would expect, you love to see a sizable edge in the shots department. 39-30 in favor of the Wild, 2 for 3 on the power play. And those power play goals were obscene. That is the kind of power play that this Wild team needs to consistently try to get, is the consistent push, the consistent movement, the consistent flow. Think of the power play like you're rocking a boat. You're rocking a boat from side to side. You're just trying to get the water moving. You're trying to create movement side to side by the defenders. And the Wild did a really good job of that tonight. And it's no surprise that they capitalized in both of those instances. Toronto got the 1 power play goal. Toronto had more hits, more blocks. As you would expect, they were chasing for most of the game. The Wild with the edge in shots, you'd expect that Toronto would have more blocks. I'm way more interested in the individual efforts that we saw for the Minnesota Wild. Marcus Foligno, his first career hat trick, 3 goals, which doubled his total for the season. Vladimir Tarasenko with 2 goals here tonight, a 3-point night for him. And then Ryan Hartman had another 2-point night. Hartman continues to just go on a roll here. He has been solid for the last 6+ games. And you look at it as well, you get 2 assist nights for Kirill Kaprizov, who I thought looked good tonight, even though he didn't score. This is one of those games where you kind of wish that he would have, because he certainly earned it. Brock Faber and Quinn Hughes. What more can you say about Quinn Hughes at this point? I mean, it's just unfair almost having 2 different guys that have the ice vision that Hughes and Kaprizov do. And Quinn Hughes leading the league in stretch passes completed. He had a couple more tonight. That's why you brought him in. That's why you got him, to add to this mix, to help stretch the offense and to help generate those quick push ahead looks. And the Wild did a really good job for that. But Ron brings up a really good point here. Let's not leave in the shadows. Hunter Haight has looked good in the 2 games that he's played. He had 4 shots tonight, played 10 minutes. He has looked the part on the 4th line. And so he just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and that should be just fine. We're gonna have Denny join the show here. I think he's getting set up on his end. So Denny, whenever you are ready, go ahead and hop in. I've got everything all set up for you. So just hop in when you're ready, and we'll get your thoughts, and we'll see what you think, and we'll let everybody know. We were supposed to do Denny's show tonight, but we're going to move it to Wednesday. It had the game tonight, and Denny had a doctor's appointment earlier in the day. So we'll move the show to Wednesday when there's nothing going on. There's no games. Just want to make sure that we don't have to be fighting against anything as far as scheduling goes. So again, Denny, whenever you're ready, feel free to hop in, and we'll get your thoughts. on the game here tonight. And speaking of, looks like we got him right there. So we'll just let Denny get all set up here, and then we'll get his thoughts on the game, and we'll get a few other things. We'll let Denny get all set up here.
Can you hear me?
We'll get his thoughts on the game, and
okay.
We'll get a few
Lighting
other things.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Can you
yep,
hear me?
we're live.
On the game, and okay. Lighting good? Hold on, I got it. Okay. All right, there we go. What a night. Unbelievable. I told you a couple of weeks ago that the Wild had the depth to withstand injuries. And tonight, in the last game against Buffalo, absolutely shows it. The one omission I had was, I told you we couldn't withstand Kaprizov and Boldy, but also Ek. But tonight, it really showed the depth of our team. And, and I've been saying forever that Hartman and Foligno are the bread and butter. They're the heart and soul of our team. And it's so nice to see Foligno get a hat trick. I mean, what is better than that? I mean, Jesus, I just love it. Because, when playoff time comes, we need those grinders. You can't win with superstars. You got to have everything. And Hartman and Foligno are two of the very best grinders, because I consider Hartman an elite level grinder, because he really is. A couple of years ago when he had his 35 goals, he's not that kind of player now, but it doesn't matter. You look what he brings to the game. Those two are just, I'm really looking forward to the playoffs. And I wanted to say for my next show, we're going to talk in depth about the Trocheck and Panarin trade deal. I've been seeing, everybody's talking about it now. But, Seth and I have been talking about Trocheck and Panarin for a long time. They're just catching up to us. Yeah, that's right. I can say that. And, you got any questions? Shoot, let's hear it.
Gary is on the topic of trading for those guys. What is the cost going to be to acquire a player of Vincent Trocheck's ilk? Which I'd like to point out, the Wild as of now, I know there have been reports other places that the Wild have been told what the asking price is for Trocheck. That is not accurate. Michael Russo refuted the fact that the Wild have even really gauged interest in Trocheck at this point. I mean, at some point, I'm sure they will, but there was a report that it was going to take a first in Danila Yurov or Charlie Stramel to make it happen. They haven't discussed trades as of yet, so we're still about 2 weeks away from a deal, I think.
Well, the one thing Russo said is that he doesn't think they've even inquired. I don't believe that for a second. Chris Drury's on the board for the Olympic team, and I think they're talking all the time, putting the deal together, and I think you're going to see it happen real soon. And, if you didn't see my show, my offer for Trocheck and Panarin was 7 pieces. And it was the first, a second, a third, and 4 players. And, of course, Starmer, who I think is the best player that the Wild have in the system right now, will sadly be going. But you know what? The Wild are all in. And that's what you do when you go all in. This is a very special team. And I'm also going to be talking about a few things that I've seen, again, from the Wall of St. Paul. I'm noticing a couple of things that he's a rookie goalie. And all goalies go through it. And that's contesting shots, but it goes both ways. And I think he doesn't trust the defense enough to go out to challenge the shot sometimes. And I'm going to be talking more about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, and we'll dive in with some of my thoughts more on that too. I'll save that for Wednesday's show, Denny. But I think there might be a little bit of kind of hitting the rookie wall for Jesper.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll talk more about that. But again, Wednesday, 8 p.m. We'll have We'll have tomorrow's Montreal game to recap as well, and we'll have trade scenarios. We'll look at some of the guys that have stepped in admirably in Matt Boldy's absence. Plenty to get to on Wednesday night's show.
Well, the one thing I've seen in the last 2 games from the Wild is they've become very tenacious, which I haven't seen in a while. And that's really a good sign. And when they play like that, and they're keeping it simple, they're moving up ice, they're shooting the puck, and, they're not trying to be fancy. They're just shooting the puck on net, and good things happen. Because when you shoot the puck at the net, anything can happen. And they're getting rewarded for it right now. Thoughts from anybody?
How about this? Matthew just posting in the chat. Vladimir Tarasenko is now on pace for 21 goals and 50 points. He's gotten a lot of slack for being old and washed up, but for what we gave up on him and how he's producing, seems like a great team guy. I agree. Like if you end the year and he is giving you 20 plus goals and 50 points, that's a good ad for Billy.
Well, while the game was going on, fans, Seth and I were texting back and forth, and I told Seth, I see a confidence level of Tarasenko going up. And, this game at this level, it's all about in between the ears. And, he's had a couple of down years, and now I'm starting to see what Tarasenko used to be. He was a hell of a sniper when he was at his best with St. Louis. And now he's starting to show it again. And that all comes with confidence. And, it's a good thing to see because, if Tarasenko comes anywhere close to what he used to be, like Seth was saying, 21 goals, that's a huge plus for our team.
Yeah.
That gives us 4 lines.
That's where you build the lineup depth because Hartman's on pace for, I think, about between 20 and 25 goals himself.
Absolutely. I had somebody, they sent me a comment, we should trade Hartman. And I asked him why, and he never responded. But maybe the next show you can tell me why you went on and trade Hartman. Because, Hartman and Foligno, they're the bread and butter, the peanut butter and jelly of our team. They really are. And you couldn't have 2 better. And now they're showing it.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Seth?
I mean, that's the lineup depth you need in the postseason. Is
absolutely
having guys like Ryan Hartman and Vladimir Tarasenko who can provide that spark that can just supplement what your top guys are doing. And we saw a little bit of that against Vegas, but needed more. And now it looks like at this point, you have the more that can help supplement the lineup.
Absolutely.
Not a bad ad for future considerations, as Matthew points out.
That's a good one, Matthew. I tell you, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Wild Digest. They're sick with the compensation, so I'm going to explain a little bit about what it takes now. Rasmus just got Delta Vegas from Calgary, and they gave up 4 pieces for him. And as I was telling Seth earlier, we gave up 4 pieces for Hughes. Just think about that for a second. I mean, there's no comparison. I mean, Rasmus is a good player. I think he's got somewhere around 30 points this year. But defensively, he is nothing compared to Hughes. And It just shows you good players are not cheap. And we're going to have to give up a lot. But, I really think that Trocheck and Panarin are on their way here. And what that does is that puts Panarin on the second line. That moves Mojo down to the third or fourth line. And when you got Eck, Boldy, and Panarin on the second line, think about that, folks. We're going to be very tough to beat. Very tough to beat.
A really good question from Britt here. And I actually have come up with a way that I think we can measure Kirill Kaprizov's play the rest of the season. Britt says, do you think there's a minimum number of shots on goal you should be seeing from Kaprizov or shots on goal per period? What if we start gauging this, Denny?
Yeah.
Goals created.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What I mean by that is either goals scored or assists that lead to additional goals. And if you're getting Kirill to create multiple goals a night, whether he scores or assists on them, that's the benchmark as to whether he's performing or not. Because I was looking at it, shooting percentage is down, but his skating speed and the skating distance that he skates over the course of games is pretty similar to where it has been. So really the big thing is just the turnovers. And I think I think there are multiple factors at play there. More pressure, more attention from opponents, more guys that are capable of just driving the net and driving play themselves. And I think that leads to, him not having to be the guy that does it every game.
That's a very good point, Seth. This is what I see. Number one, first line, you should be getting a minimum of 6 to 8 shots every game. And he went through a stretch where he had 0 shot, 1 shot, 1 shot, or 2 shots. That's unacceptable. But now Kaprizov is setting up the plays so nicely. And he's got 38 assists. What is it, 40 now?
It's got to be close to, what did he finish with tonight? He has 32 assists.
Okay. I thought it was higher than that, but of course I'm always wrong. But, he's setting up the plays now because, he reads the ice as good as anybody. And as I mentioned last week, the one thing that we're not seeing from Kaprizov is his edge work. And I think as his game evolves, you're seeing less edge work because he doesn't have to create like he used to. Now he just puts the pieces together. And that's why he's getting so many assists. Believe me, Kaprizov's going to go on a run. He doesn't have the style or the recklessness that he used to have. But he reads the play so well now, he doesn't have to. And our team is so good. It doesn't matter if it's, who he's playing with. He makes everybody better, bottom line. And, as much as I like Urov, he's not a first-line center yet. He will be, but he's not yet. And that's why I'm so high on getting Trocheck and Panarin, because when you see Trocheck in the line with Zugs and Kaprizov, oh my God. Now we have 3 really good lines to come at you. And, all I'm concerned about is winning the cup and building the team for the playoffs.
And you remember what we said months ago is the best way to convince Kirill to stick around is to build a team that doesn't need him to win.
Absolutely. Who was it? I
think that was Tracy Moon that said that.
Yes.
In the comments.
And I got to put that up on the wall behind me because nobody could say it better. My hat's off to you, Tracy. You get a shout out for that one because that's absolutely true. Anything else?
And I'll say too, I knock on wood heavily. I think the big number as far as Kaprizov goes is the games played, and he's on pace to play 82.
Oh, everybody's so worried about him being hurt. But as you remember, I told you when I talked to my doctor about the stuff that they're using for the muscle tear in the groin, what they're using then and what they're using now, totally different. We're never going to see any problem with his groin now, at least not from that injury that cost him half the season. That's just not going to happen. I mean, the doctors have figured out how to work it, and Kaprizov just shows you. And as far as Boldy, I was told by somebody in the Wild organization that he's got a really bad bruise. And
like a bone bruise?
Yes. And I don't know for sure, but that's what I've been told, is he's got a bruise that he's been dealing with. And he's playing through it because he's a hockey player, but it gets to a point where, it is what it is. And bone bruises are hard to deal with. So he's going to miss, a couple weeks at least, I think.
I want to talk about this from Big Bear because it's a valid point, but I think I have a solution. Once the Wild acquire a top 6 player, because he says once Boldy and Eck are back, Tarasenko will disappear. What I would do is keep Tarasenko with Urov and either have Trenyan, because that line is consistently produced together, or you put Johansson with those two. I think the issue stems from playing Tarasenko with guys that are, just don't play the offensive style. And I think you can still get production from him on a third line as long as you have the right pieces with him. Detroit never did that. Detroit never had him in the bottom of the lineup with guys that could push offensively. It was always with defense first guys. So that consideration, I think, needs to be given for where Tarasenko plays in this lineup, because I think we've seen it when he's with more offense-oriented guys, the production's there.
Well, I think you're spot on with your evaluation there. I mean, Tarasenko is getting his confidence back. I mean, you can see it in his play. He was just a stud with St. Louis. And now we're starting to see glimpses of that again. And that's all in the head. When you believe you could do it, then you do it. And, like I said a couple, before, when you have a couple of bad years, you start thinking you're not that good anymore. But now he's showing that he can be that good again. And that's a huge plus for us. Because, if we got Tarasenko on the third line producing, believe me, that's Stanley Cup material right there.
Yeah. I got to give Cole Remy the comment of the night, because he came up with, this has been a struggle for this combination, is to find the right name for them. Cole suggests the Krem line for Tarasenko, Trenyan, and Urov, and I think that's perfect.
Oh, I like it. The Krem line, huh? That's kind of like the Coneheads from the 80 Olympics. I like it a lot.
That is well done. Well done by Cole.
Line.
Yeah.
Yes. You get a shout out for that. I like it.
Absolutely. So just looking at some of the other scores, Dallas got throttled yesterday. And now with the Wild winning today, the Wild move ahead of them as far as points go. Winnipeg is losing to Chicago right now 2-0 with 13 seconds to play. That's about it for scores as far as the Central Division is concerned. Vegas lost 2-1 to Philly in regulation, so we like that.
And San Jose beat Florida in Florida.
Wow.
Yes, 4-1. I tell you, there's one team I don't want to see in the playoffs, and that's San Jose. They don't expect anything. They have no pressure.
Yeah.
Huge underdog. And, with Celebrino and Askarov, that's one hell of a team. And they just picked up
Sherwood.
Sherwood, which is going to be a nice addition for them.
I'm glad the Wild did not get super involved in that, because I feel like we have a lot of what he brings to the table here. But I like that addition for San Jose.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't interested in Sherwood coming here at all. We need a first-line center, as I've been saying forever. And now that the New York Rangers have lost, who's their goalie?
Shesterkin.
Yes, they're all done. So
Yeah.
I'm absolutely certain that Krister and Billy are talking, and they're just waiting for the right time to make the deal, because I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I mean, it only makes sense. It really does. And, you have to beat everybody to win the cup.
Yeah.
And the thing about the playoffs, we want home ice. We know we're playing Dallas, and it would sure be nice to have a home ice. But, at the beginning of the season, I thought Winnipeg would take a leap back, and I also said Dallas. And it's coming true to form, because Dallas is not looking good these days. And I'm not sure what the problem is, because I don't watch them. But they're not winning many games now. So it's a good thing for us, because, and even Colorado is now starting to lose some games. Of course, when you lose two of your big players, that's going to happen, because you just don't replace them. So we got a shot. I mean, I predicted after we got Hughes, we'd hit 120 points. And where are we at right now, projection-wise, for points?
We've got 65 through 50 games. So on that note, let me just do some crude math here, which is always a terrible idea. 1.3 points per game. We're on pace for 106.
Wow.
That's just super crude math.
Well, at the beginning of the season, I hit us for 113 points at the start of the season. And with the addition of Hughes, I'm giving us an additional 7 points. Because you look at, we're so lucky to watch Hughes play. He's just unbelievable. He has the best percentage rate for the stretch pass in the NHL.
Mm-hmm. And
when it comes to playoff time, that's going to be a huge advantage. It really is. And once Billy makes his second biggest trade of all time for the Wild, Trocheck's 55, 56% in the dot. That's the biggest thing that we need, because we can't be chasing the puck in the playoffs. We got to control the game. And,
one other area that Russo mentions that I had not considered that I really dig, Trocheck is elite as the bumper guy on the power play.
Yeah.
Which would free up Kirill to play off puck.
And with Kirill's shot, that's a deadly combination. It really is.
Yeah, because then if you have Trocheck as the bumper guy, you have Kirill and Boldy as the face-off assassins.
Yes.
Face-off circle assassins as far as one-timers go.
Yes. I'm feeling so good about this team. I never thought Billy would pick up Hughes. I mean, who saw that coming? Did anybody really see him get Hughes? I didn't see any podcasters. I didn't see any of our fans talk about it.
No.
He just pulled off, that's his legacy for the Wild. That's the best trade in Wild history. And I think his next trade is going to be just as good. Really, I really do. I think it's all about done. It says it's 95%. Any questions that you want to talk about?
I think that'll do it for the post game here. I have 3 different recordings I got to get to here for the rest of the night.
Okay.
So we will. We'll probably. I have a hockey game on the road tomorrow night, so I may do a later post game after I get back. It won't be right after the game is done since it's an East Coast game. But we'll probably do one later. And then, of course, we got the show for you on Wednesday night. Alex and I are going to record tonight for tomorrow. And
okay.
We'll continue to guide you through the week. Before we go, prediction for tomorrow.
Well, I'm liking how Minnesota, they haven't been playing tenacious in a long time, and now they are. It kind of reminds me of Jacques Lemieux when he was running the Wild way back when. I mean, they're getting after the puck. They're getting after the play, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing to see because this is our depth. And I can't see anything wrong with it. You know me, if I see something I don't like, I tell you. I just don't see anything wrong with our team anymore, other than we need a first line set. At any rate, thanks everybody for listening to me rant and rave with Seth, and we'll see you Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Is that
8 p.m.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.